real family, not friends round here. We stay loyal to the end round here. Someone tell me how the enemies.
I don't want to be living this for the rest of my life.
How's that we're beefing? Where they at? All their death threats, but we're still breathing. When we catch one of them, we got section.
And I kept saying, like, what am I going to do now?
Round here, I might show you with the men round here. With the men. Give a fuck about your friends round here. Get dragged out your bends round here. Dragged out. When it goes down, sides get taken. It reveals who's real and who's faking. Beef comes up.
We are supplying them with 40 years worth of information.
40 years?
40 years.
Names come in the media, Mohammed, Abdullah, whatever they are, all these Muslim names.
The realists never have to. I'ma show you with the men.
And she said she'd been raped.
We have serious allegations from children who say that you were involved in the rape and prostitution of them, that you were a kingpin having them trafficked.
Bullshit, mate.
Listen, don't come with these, I'll come in your home and smack you across your face in.
You don't really want trouble, mate.
Well, let me call you.
Well, no, I'll come meet you. I've been in and out. Don't do anything stupid, huh? No, I'm actually in Manchester. A minute. Yeah, now, what are you? You just, fucking hell. Where are you? In Telford? Don't do anything stupid. Seriously. Don't. I don't. What's that? No, babe, no. I just think, no. Is your dad nearby? No. Do you want us to come pick you up? Yeah. Go on. There's so much better way to fucking hammer these bastards. There's so much better way that's not going to jeopardise you. What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt them. I'm just gonna kill myself. Actually, I'm just gonna sit outside here, and I'm just gonna kill myself because I can't. You know what? I've got no life. I've got no life ahead of me. I've got nothing except more issues, like more mental health issues, like more fucking relationship issues. I haven't got fucking anything else except more shit. So I thought I've been thinking about it for ages, and I thought I might as well just come back here, because at least people won't fucking blame it on something else. You know, at least people will fucking know why I did it.
Lauren, why don't you? See, as I said, I could drive there an hour, you could drive to me an hour. Why don't you just come to where I am? And you don't, they win then again. Do you know what I mean? They win then again.
I think they already won though.
No, but
they already won. You know, we were trying to figure out what I could compare rape to, so that other people can like have something that like, so they know how it feels. Yeah, but there is fucking nothing that compares to rape. The only thing that compares to rape is torture. So the only other people, apart from other rape victims, the only other people who can identify with it is fucking people who are victims of torture. That's the only thing I can think of to compare it to. And that's the reason it's fucking illegal. There's nothing to compare it to. And that's why it's so fucking wrong. And they can't see that. They fucking killed me anyway when they raped me. So I don't even know why I've been alive for the rest of the time of my life.
Well, Oh man. Please don't do anything, darling. Just come here. I'll come pick you up. We can drive here and let's just talk, because they do win. They win because the potential. I don't even know what to say to you, because I know what they've done, and I can't even imagine how you must feel. I just know that people who love you ain't going to want you to kill yourself or him. And if there's any way of getting you help, I'd help get you whatever help you need. I'll just say please don't do anything stupid. No. And do you want us to come get you, or do you want to drive here?
I don't know. I don't really feel like being saved, to be honest.
Where? How far is your mum and dad? How far does your mum and dad live from where you are?
My mum doesn't live that far away.
Babe.
Oh, I don't feel like going there.
Come up here. We've got empty bedrooms. We're in a 5-bedroom house. There's an empty bedroom. You're welcome to come and stay here. And we'll talk. We just had a shit curry, but if you...
Oh no, you can't have a shit curry.
You
can't do that. Did you make it? No, if you bought it from somewhere, you're a fool.
Come here and make us a curry then. Come.
Oh, I can't make one.
Can't I?
If you buy a shit curry, then fuck knows what they put in it.
Yeah.
Because if they don't make it with love, then they're probably making it with shit.
Yeah. Alright, well, yeah, why don't you just come up here, babe? And then I can't believe you in Telford either. But come up here. We're only an hour. We're here. You can see what we're doing. We're actually here, sat around a table with pictures of all these bastards. I don't know if that's going to fucking throw your head even more, but we're actually just sat here with massive sheets everywhere of who they are, how they're linked. But babe, honestly, they do win. You're another victim then in their fucking murderous spree. So please don't do anything. Because, fucking hell, man. As soon as I heard that voicemail, I was like, what's wrong? Oh, my heart dropped. But you're totally welcome to come here.
You're just going to wind me up with the maps.
Yeah, I'll put them away. How about it? You don't have to look at them. We just had it here because we were discussing work. So I'll put them away. Just come up here.
I can't even, half the people, I fucking escaped really early. I was so lucky.
That doesn't matter. None of it matters. Don't worry about maps. As I said, it doesn't matter if you never want to talk to me or you don't want to participate in this documentary or anything. None of that matters, yeah? So come here, you don't even have to talk about it. I don't give a shit. We've got a pool table here and a bar in this house. It's a beautiful house. But you're welcome to just come up here, babe, and just take a chill, man. Take a chill. Alright, babe, I'll send you a location, yeah? I think it's an hour, isn't it? Telford's an hour from here, isn't it? I think it's an hour from here, babe. Yeah? Alright. Promise me then that that's what you're doing, and you're just going to come up here and not do anything stupid. Don't leave me without. I have enough fucking shit in my head at all. So just come up here.
I know. Like, you get yourself into trouble all the time.
I know. Story of my life.
You can't even help it.
I know. So I'm a magnet.
Like all these school kids that never got it out of your system.
I always said I used to shit stare on the school playground. I've just gone to a fucking international level.
Yeah.
Oh God. Alright, come up. Are you coming up then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay, alright, Sam, see you in a bit. I'll send you a location now. Do you want me to do live location via WhatsApp?
You can. You can.
Alright, Sam, I'll do that
I've
now.
got a different WhatsApp number, so you can't.
Message me on your WhatsApp number then, yeah? And then I'll send you it. Yeah. Alright, see you in a bit. Bye-bye. So I was tracking down victims and following the Telford story, and I saw a girl online making comments about wanting to kill the men who had raped her and abused her, and it all come to a head because one of them was just getting released. So she's obviously read it and made comments saying how it's destroyed her again. Now reading this, it's brought it all back, and she wants to murder him. So I tracked her down. I found out where she was. I went to see her. She answered the door and, what are you doing here? I said, explain, I've just read your messages. I want to find a better way for you to expose these men and try and tell you not to do anything stupid. And then we had a nice meeting. We sat in the back of the car for about 3 hours, just talking through. We've come up here, we're in the north of England now, to get sat together for a month to go through the documentary. And I've messaged her. And this is how, that's mad. Like, I've messaged her saying, hi Lauren, how are you? Any thoughts on about us getting together? And literally, not sure we'll get a chance to do it in person after today. I've then played a voice note from her.
Hi Stephen. So I don't know if I'm going to be available after today. As you were texting me, I was on my way up, and I'm here now. So I'm just sitting outside somebody's house.
After reading her messages, then it's like she's outside the house, she's going to kill him. So we rang her, but then madly, because she sent me a live location, she was parked in Telford. But you see all the years later, look at their lives, look at her life. And then she's gone on to, okay, I won't kill him, I'm going to kill myself. She is now, see where she is, her live location. So when, okay, she's on her way. She wasn't just sat there, she was in Wellington, the Muslim area of Telford. Now she's on her way here, so.
She's an extraordinary woman, a woman whose life was destroyed by these men when she was just a girl. She's written an amazing book sharing her experience. It's called No Way Out by Kate Alicia. You can buy it on Amazon. Please go and buy it. And what you'll find when you read it is that one of her abusers was a man called Ahmed Nawas. Ahmed Nawas. Now I want to go back to our interview with the survivor from episode 2 and pick up the story of another girl.
Okay, because I've seen Becky. You was a friend of Becky Watson.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about Becky?
We lived near each other. This one day in particular, she'd gone missing, and we was all looking for her. Anyway, she was drunk on the park. Some Asian lads had bought her some cider, so she got drunk, and when she got back home, her mum asked me and another girl if we could watch her while she went shopping. And I was sat in the front room with her. I'm 15 and she's only like 10. And she's just sat in the chair opposite me, you know, like we are now. And I didn't say one word. My other mate was having a go at her, saying, you know, that she's basically disgusted me for drinking and giving her like a hard time. But I didn't say a word. I just sat there and I just watched her. And you know when you look in someone's eyes and stuff and you can just see through their eyes. And she reminded me of me. But when, yeah. I just knew something wasn't right. I could just see. And then after then, she ran upstairs and she wouldn't let like our friend in. So I started speaking to her, and she told me that how like she just started to get involved with Asian men and stuff like that. She started to get a bit like out of control.
She was involved with men at the age of 10. When you say involved, what do you mean?
She just started to hang around with him. She hadn't done anything then. She was just hanging around with them, and I started to buy her a drink, just started to get into talking to her. And it was like not long after then, I'd been on deliveries with my dad. He was doing pizza deliveries, like a weekend job, and my mate came with us on deliveries, and he had just dropped us off. Well, we just got home, and was in my bedroom, and I got a phone call off Becky about 1, 2 o'clock that morning, and she sounded wasted, and she said, "Hey, guess what? I've just lost my virginity." And my words was, "You better fucking not have." And then she was just there laughing, and I could hear another girl in the background with her.
How old was she?
She was 10.
When she lost her virginity?
She was nearly 11.
So do we know who Becky lost her virginity to?
Keith.
When you say Keith?
Shazia's dad.
Shazia's dad. This is Asian Keith.
Who had the burger van outside rooms.
Tell me about what you know of Asian Keith then. Did you ever meet Asian Keith?
Yeah. I always saw him around the area. And obviously I knew his family, because I went to school with his nieces and stuff, and his nephew. We all knew what he was up to, but I didn't know the details until Becky told me.
And what was he up to?
He was selling girls. And I remember the first time Becky ever told me, she said that she went to this house with and they was paying like £200 each time. And yeah, that basically. So, and she did tell me that he tries you out first to see if you're good enough.
So he was pimping young children?
Yeah.
Did you ever have any interaction with him?
No.
No?
No.
Tell me more about Becky Watson and what happened with Becky.
Well, things got bad, obviously. Trying to start. I started meeting her from school and things like that. So she did start hanging around with a few other girls her age. And then as time went on, trying to think how old I was. I think I was 16. Yeah, she had just turned, trying to remember, I think she just turned 11 and then I had just turned 16. And I was in Regent Street, there's like a walkway to Wrekin College where the bridge is. I don't know if it's still there, but there was like a bridge. And I was there with Jibby and was drinking. And was waiting for Munchie to finish work. And I got a text on my phone off Becky saying help. So I said to her, "Where are you?" And she said, like at the house, but she had showed me this house near the Wrekin, like a few days before. So I just ran there. I don't even know how I got there. I just ran there. And if you go like round the back of this house, there's like a gate. You go through the gate into the back door. I went and then you're into the kitchen. And as I walked into the kitchen, straight in front of me, there's like a front room. And yeah, that's when I saw what was happening to her.
What was happening?
She was being raped by knife point. On like, there's like a mat on the floor. And she was just lying on the floor.
And who was raping her?
I don't know who he was. He was just this like muscly man. He had like really dark, obviously dark hair, but it was like quite thick on top. And he had a really deep voice.
Was he on his own in there with her?
Yeah.
What happened then?
I was just screaming to get off her. And then he just turned around, he turned his head back to me, because I was like at the, back of him to the side, like that, but like a really deep voice. And I panicked and I just ran into the kitchen and I got a knife and stabbed him in the back. And then I just screamed at Becky to run. and we just ran. And I phoned a couple of lads I know from Birmingham, because I just thought we needed to get out of Telford, and I asked if they could come and get us, and they come and picked us up, and they took us to Birmingham. But then Keith was ringing Becky up, going mad, and said that I'd killed the man. So then, obviously I got scared, thinking I'm going to jail and things, and Becky said she'd take the blame because she was younger. But I said no way. And then I think it's silly, but we performed like a ceremony thing where you slash your hands and rub them together and you become blood sisters. And then after that night, it was just us two. So like a few months later after that, I had something in my head, I wanted to go back to that house. But we went the front way, not the back way. There's like a grass bit and a tree, and we was there watching the house. And all I saw was Keith and that man and two girls walking in.
Keith was walking with the man that he said you'd killed?
Because he said that he was going to go to the police if we didn't do what he said after that.
So he used that situation to get you to do whatever he wanted because you were scared.
But I said that Becky wasn't doing nothing, I'd do it all. But then some men would say that they wanted Becky because she was younger and fresher. And then I just have to turn around and say, yeah, but I'm more experienced, take me.
And Asian Keith's now, where is he now?
He's dead.
He's dead. Do you know if he ever faced any justice?
No.
Becky Watson, raped by Asian Keith when she was 10, or maybe when she was 12. We've been given different accounts. She was passed around between men, raped at knife point. Asian Keith died in 2015, aged 61, without ever facing justice. What happened next to Becky? Becky was killed by a man called Ahmed Nawas.
Tell me what happened. How did Becky die?
Well, she'd rang me. I was at home giving my mum a massage, and she rang me up one night and she said that her mum had hid the fags, so can I bring her a fag? And I said, yeah, I'll be about 15-20 minutes. So I went down to she said to meet me at the youth club on Martin Drive, Brooklands. So I went down there, and as I got there, just literally got there, Ahmed Nawas pulled up in his car, and the youth worker, Juanita, I always remember her name, she was stood there, and then I just put my back away to Ahmed, and I said to her, don't let me go over, keep me here. She was like, all right, but she was like looking over my head at Becky and another girl called Kerry, talking to him. And then all of a sudden, all I heard was Becky say, but you're not, he said something like, you're not having your phone back, and he took her phone off her. And then she got on the car bonnet, like sat sideways, and she said, well, you're not going then. And then that's when we all started looking, thinking, what's happening, what's going on. And then all of a sudden he started revving his car, trying to like scare her. And then he drove off with her on the car. But there's like, when you're looking up, it's like on a bend, and I just kept thinking, nah, she's gonna walk in a minute, I'm gonna see her coming back. And but as Becky was driving off, she was trying to like grab onto the bonnet, somewhere to hold. And she just, all I got is that image of my head of her looking at me, you know, like, like saying my name. And you know, as it goes off in the distance and you can't hear. And then next thing I know, all I saw was blue flashing lights, like from up, you know, in the distance. And I just ran there, and all I saw was Becky on the floor, and then Ahmed was leaning over her. And then I got a lift to the hospital, and I went there, and That's when we got told that she was brain dead.
She was 13.
And then after that night, I went missing all that night because I got like really upset, and I kept saying like, what am I going to do now? So I started smashing my head to try and make myself brain dead. And then I didn't know who else to ring or where to go. So I was trying to ring everyone in my phone book because I didn't want to go home. And then I rang up for a taxi, but Amy answered the phone. That was Bugs's taxi firm at the time.
Bugsy had a taxi firm?
Yeah, I think it was called Fast Line or something back then.
And then what happened?
She got someone to come and pick me up. I can't remember if it was him or some taxi, because I wasn't with it that night. She got a driver to come and pick me up and brought me to the office to her. And then when she finished work, she took me back to her house. And then I stayed there the night. And then the next morning, the police picked me up from there and took me home.
Now, Ahmed Nawaz was charged with manslaughter, but pleaded guilty to causing death by dangerous driving. He got 3 years for killing Becky. He was out of jail in 15 months. It was reported as a prank gone wrong. But was it? Was it death by dangerous driving? You see, the background to her tragic killing is very important.
And then going out with Imran at the time, but then she started seeing Ahmed behind Imran's back. But we didn't know this at first. And then one night Ahmed had picked me and Becky up when we was walking. And he said he'd give us a lift home, but he didn't take us home, he took us up the Wrekin.
And what happened up the Wrekin?
He said that I had to sleep with him, or so we couldn't go home. But I said, I'm not doing it, she's here, or Becky's here. So then he made her lie on the floor with a coat over her head, in the back. And then me and him went off, and I had to have sex with him. But while that was happening, the police come.
The police come whilst you was having sex with him up the Wrekin?
And I just literally, we jumped up and started walking, and then they checked all in the car, but they couldn't see anyone because she was on the floor. And then after that, I told what happened because I didn't know that she was sleeping with him. She was still with Imran. And then this one night, we got the phone call. Me and Becky was at mine in bed, and we got a phone call. They wanted me to go to the bottom of my street. And then Becky was like, you're not going on your own. And I said, I'll be fine. So I went to the bottom of the street, and he just went, get in the car now. So I sat in the front, and Becky got in the back with Michelle and Sam. And he drove to the Brooklands, to the back of the shops in the car park. And he went, get out now. So I got out, and I thought, he's going to beat me up or something now. And then he pushed me against the wall. He was in front of me. And then he just grabbed me by my head and threw me onto my knees. And then he basically stuck his penis in my mouth and wouldn't let go of me. And then when he finished, he still wouldn't let me go. And then he weed in my mouth. And then I just literally spat it out, being sick. And he just got up and walked off and goes, get in the car. So I just got in the car. And as I was getting in the car, Michelle went to him. Did you do it? And he went really serious face, evil. It's he was still angry. And then all of a sudden he burst out laughing and went, yeah. And then she was laughing as well.
How old was
Same age as me.
So he ejaculated in your mouth and then urinated in your mouth?
Yeah. Because we had told about what happened up the Wrekin.
As a punishment?
Yeah. But then it got worse as well after that, because we found out then that night, obviously, because he was with Michelle in the car. And we found out then that them two were sleeping together. So then Becky went and told Imran, because she was really good friends with him. And they were best friends, brothers. So he got upset because he really really did like Michelle. So then Ahmed was after Becky then. That's why he pulled up at the...
That's why he pulled up that day at the youth club?
Yeah.
Because she told him about him taking you out and raping you? Because she had told him then?
No, it's because she had told Imran that Michelle was cheating on him with Ahmed.
Okay, so Becky told Imran that Michelle was cheating on him with Ahmed.
And about what happened with me as well.
And about what happened with you, and that's why he pulled up at the youth club that day. That's why she's dead. Okay. Where's Ahmed Nawaz now?
I haven't got a clue.
Ahmed Nawaz killed Becky Watson when he was angry that she had told his best friend Imran that Ahmed was having sex with Imran's girlfriend, Mandy. Ahmed Nawaz raped our survivor up at the Wrekin. Our survivor then told Mandy. Our survivor hadn't known that Ahmed Nawaz was having sex with Mandy at the time she confided in her. Ahmed Nawaz violently, orally raped our survivor and then urinated in her mouth as a punishment for confiding in Mandy. And then Ahmed Nawaz killed Becky Watson for telling Imran that his best mate, Ahmed, was shagging his girlfriend behind his back. Ahmed Nawaz got just 3 years for killing Becky Watson. He didn't face justice for any of the violent rapes of young girls, including our survivor, leading up to the killing of Becky. And when he got out of jail after just 15 months, we have survivors who tell us he carried on violently raping young girls. Just listen to Becky Watson's mother.
A 20-year-old Pakistani man and a passenger had pulled outside the youth club and he switched his engine off. Becky was first leaning against the bonnet and it looked at first she was in conversation with him. She then sat on the bonnet and there was some sort of altercation and she refused to get off his bonnet. He took it upon himself to start his engine and to drive over 200 metres with her clinging on the side of the window. And this was in front of all her friends, and at some point she fell off and sustained a head trauma. No other injuries or marks. I arrived at the scene with her 12-year-old brother to watch helplessly as the emergency services tried to resuscitate her lifeless body. 3.5 grueling hours later, I was told that she was brain dead and her life support had to be switched off. And the worst thing I had to go through was tell her 12-year-old brother that she's going to have to say goodbye. I read in the statements that the passenger kept telling the driver to slow down and pack it in. He did this in cold blood anger. It was no prank, only his pranks and still her. Because how dare a 13-year-old white girl not do as she was told and show him up in front of his friends. He got 3 years and served 15 months. The police never asked for a phone and they were fully aware of what happened 10 days prior and all the other times. And yet, the chief superintendent visited me within days of Becky's death and stated he did not want her death to be classed as a racial attack. I told him he needs to open his eyes as there's something going on in this town and it involved Pakistani men and young girls and drugs. I never got to know Becky's full extent of her abuse. That chance was taken away. But the police confirmed in 2015, after a 3-year investigation following the Operation Chalice in Telford, that Becky was groomed at 11. And they have evidence on at least 2 occasions that she was trafficked to Birmingham and Manchester. I do not know who her perpetrators are, and most likely never will. But they did say the reinvestigation did highlight new perpetrators. Had Becky not been killed, I know in time she would have opened up because I was never going to give up on her. I live with the guilt and probably always will that I never protected her from these monsters. But she was trying to protect her family. I know if she had lived that she'd be standing here before you today as a survivor. but instead she is a warrior, like all the survivors, only she's a warrior with wings. Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
One of the first things the policeman said immediately after the killing of Becky was that he didn't want her killing to be classed as a racial matter. What? Why was that on the list of things to bring up with a grieving mother of a dead child? The judge said Ahmed Nawas had snuffed out Becky's life, and Ahmed Nawas got 3 years for killing her and was out of prison within 15 months. 15 months for the death of a 13-year-old child. We've had testimony on camera that he went on to continue raping girls after coming out of jail. Becky's mum might not know who her other abusers were, but Munchie's phone number was in Becky's phone when she was just 12 years old. Remember Munchie from episode 2? In fact, you don't have to look far to find evidence of muddle-headed thinking on the part of the police. And isn't it odd that the inspector in Operation Chalice, when talking to Channel 4, is worried about sensitivities to do with the race of the perpetrators? And when Lucy Lowe was murdered, as we saw in the Guardian headline, the police, they played down. Everyone seems more worried about the cultural sensitivities than they are about the young girls who are being trafficked, raped and murdered. So what did Telford Chief Superintendent Tom Harding have to say in 2018 about what's been happening on his patch? Oh, that's not good. Not good at all. He said that the sex crime claims were sensationalised, and a memo was sent around the police, saying most of the sex with these little children was consensual. You know, the 10, 11, 12-year-olds. Consensual sex, Tom? Not really, mate. Now, that's not a good start for Tom Harding. This is 2018.
I'm not playing this down. What I'm saying is that for many years we've identified CSE as something that we're seeking to tackle, and I've had, in the last 2 years, I've had additional resources provided to me by the Chief Constable and PCC, because it's something that we really want to work hard on jointly with the local authority. I'm
going to translate that limp-wristed, mealy-mouthed political speak for you. What he's saying, number one, they're seeking to tackle child sexual exploitation. That's his intent. See, politicians are great at announcing their intent, but not so great at delivering results. In your case, Tom, results means criminals being banged up. Number two, in the last couple of years, they've had additional resources provided. He wants you to know his failure in the past is nothing to do with incompetence or corruption, which it is. He wants you to know it's nothing to do with that. It's because he was short of resources. Number three, not resources to get you for traffic offences or anything like that. Resources to deal with child rape. Number three, he really wants to work hard on the problem, jointly with the local authority. More intent, and he wants you to know it's not just him who is failing, it's the local authority as well. Well, what does working hard or smashing child raping, drug dealing, Pakistani gangs look like? What does that look like? That's the question you're asking yourself. Have a look at this. In this photo, you will see Bugsy. Bugsy's our main alleged gang leader of rapists from episode 1. You'll see Crowie. Crowie is Munchie's brother-in-law, you know, Munchie from episode 2. The ones accused of raping little girls and drug dealing. They're the Benallis, that's their gang name. Now sitting down, here they are sitting down with various police leaders, including Tom Harding and the Police and Crime Commissioner. Tom Harding left West Mercia Police in 2020 and apparently took some of his best practice to Gwent. Newsflash, people. If he's an inadequate, clueless idiot in West Mercia, he'll be an inadequate, clueless idiot in Gwent. But that's what happens in the police, you see. If you're useless, you're reassigned. Now, in a world where terrorist attacks by followers of Islam are immediately labelled nothing to do with Islam, inquiry into the doctrines of Islam immediately labelled Islamophobic, and so-called non-hate crime incidents policing is used almost entirely to silence discussion of Islam. Look at Harry Miller's victory over the College of Policing. So, who are the Benallis?
We're all family, not friends round here. We stay loyal to the end round here. Someone tell me how the enemy's sleeping. It must be cowards that we're beefing. All their death threats, but we're still breathing. When we catch one of them, we go Section 18 him. GBH with intent round here. I might show you with the men round here. Give a fuck about your friends round here. Get dragged out your bends round here.
In the last episode, we saw the police in Telford kneeling, taking a knee at the feet of Ahmed Khan, his hands on their heads, and Bobby Khan tweeting how the Benalis have got the police under control. It actually seems like that to the rest of the country. The police are under the control of the Islamic community in Telford and every other city. The Benalis have got the police under control. Izzar says the police want a truce. Who are the Benalis? These are the Benalis. Bugsy, Charlie, Munchie, Crowie, Izzar, Akib, Akil. All of our so-called men who are alleged to have been involved in the rape of children in Telford in our previous episodes are Benalis. You might ask yourself, how and what are Telford police doing to tackle this epidemic of Muslim rape gangs? This is what they're doing. This is the most senior ranking police officers from West Mercia Police. This gentleman is the Police Crime Commissioner. Next to him, or across from him, is the head of the police. This gentleman, it's his job to prevent sexual exploitation of children. Now, this is Bugsy from episode 1, the main child trafficker from Telford, standing directly next to, having his photo taken directly next to the man whose job it is to prevent sexual exploitation of children. Now, you remember Munchie from episode 2. This is Munchie's brother, standing directly behind the Police Crime Commissioner. Do you have any faith that these officers are tackling these gangs? There is no way that their intelligence system does not tell them that they are drug dealers, they are gangsters, and they are trafficking children. But they do not care. They are more interested in taking their photos for diversity. I have tried to find pictures of the police sitting outside the church in Telford. I haven't been able to. Outside the Sikh temple, I haven't been able to. Outside the Hindu temple, I haven't been able to. All of these men, all of them, including him, are directly linked to gangs that rape children in Telford. And this is what your police force are doing. This is community policing at its dumbest. And it's a model that's being replicated across our country. If it was working, people like Bugsy, Charlie, Akil and Munchie, they would have had to answer by now for the multiple allegations made against them. But they haven't had to answer them. They haven't faced justice. And people have told us that some of these men have been abusing and exploiting young girls since the early 1990s. That's for over 40 years. If you remember a clip from episode 2, the police records on these matters go back 40 years. They passed, and I quote, 40 years worth of evidence to the independent inquiry. If these men had been pursued and prosecuted from the start, so many girls' lives would have been saved from misery. Don't get me wrong, there are good police in Telford. When one of our surveillance teams was arrested for supposedly harassing Ahmed Khan, a known Benali drug dealer, 2 police officers told him in the police station, whatever you do, don't use the duty solicitor. The good coppers know there is corruption inside Telford Police Station. And this diversity-embracing community policing approach, shut up for the sake of diversity, as Naz Shah famously tweeted, be quiet for fear of being called racist, be quiet for fear of being called Islamophobe, well, it's either incompetence, stupidity or cowardice. Incompetence because the police intelligence system must hold information about the allegations and criminal activities of some of the men pictured here. Are these top police officers unaware of the information on their own systems? Stupidity. Because if these top police officers know of the criminal activities and the allegations against some of the men, are they really so stupid that they think cozying up for photos is an effective approach smashing gang-related crime in Telford? And cowardice. Because the police in Telford are simply not equipped to tackle organised Islamic gangs that are running and ruining the streets of Telford by raping young children and flooding the streets with drugs. So the Telford police are frightened and incapable of confronting this evil. And if the police are frightened, the streets are lawless. God help every one of us if the police are frightened. And we're told Telford police are demoralised. I'll tell you what isn't good for morale. Letting your diversity-driven community policing bullshit stop you doing what you know is right. And I'll tell you what's good for morale. Solving crimes. Real crimes. Rape of children. Drug dealing. Locking up these monsters. That advice is for free, guys. And for the Home Office, you need to get a grip of this. Because it's not just Telford, and it's only going to get worse, as gangs are grounded in an ideology that doesn't recognise English law and democracy, gangs protected under the shelter of your diversity rainbows, as they expand into the power vacuum created by your limp policing, your policing paralysed by suicide cultural sensitivities. Well, we can't speak to Becky Watson, because Ahmed Nawas killed her, but before we go and knock on anyone's door, let's listen to another of Ahmed's victims.
But I kind of have a different opinion now than I did before, because Shamil raped me, and then after that all these men literally took advantage of a rape victim, and I always said no, and they always like convinced me round, so I think that's rape. I was there for 5 months, and they started raping me a month after I moved in. I went to the party. It was a flat in Wellington. There was about five of the men there, and there was 2 other women that were older than me, and they were both very drunk. And then there was a guy who I thought was a white guy, but that was Dave Vasardi, so he was mixed race. I have said since that I actually wish that I was drunk, because it wouldn't have hurt so much if I was drunk. More warning signs: no sheet on the mattress, no sheet like duvet cover on the duvet, and I'm going, oh, why isn't the bed made? Is that because you're a bachelor and you just don't ever make your bed? And he's like, yeah. So I was like feeding him his own answers, so he didn't even have to answer. He convinced me to, we were going to have sex, and then he convinced me to get naked, and then he wanted to, he suggested doggy style, so then I got into position, and while I was on all fours, instead of having normal sex with me, he raped me anally. I didn't know he was going to do it. He knew what he was about to do. He'd must have been planning it behind me before he did it, because when he forced it inside me, I pulled away because it was painful. And he was already ready for that, so he knew that I was going to pull away, and he just pushed his body into me, and just pushed his body into me until I got caught between the headboard and his body. So my shoulders were all crushed against the headboard, and I couldn't move, and I was screaming at him to stop, because at first I thought he'd just got the wrong hole by accident, but he carried on, and he didn't stop, and it was really painful, and he was really hurting me, and I smashed my head on the headboard, and I just literally I was pinned down until he had finished, and then as soon as he finished, he ran out of the room, and then Manny came in, and I was a bit in shock, and a bit trying to think, what do I do next? And I was just going to put my clothes back on. So when Manny came in, I was looking for my clothes, and Manny was sat next to me, and he put his arm around me, and he was going, why are you getting dressed? After that, because I didn't think I could cope with anymore, and then they were trying to imply that I was going to have to do more, and I was a bit, and the other girls were going in and out of the bedrooms as well, but they were really drunk, so they were laughing and seemed okay, so I didn't know what was going on properly, and And then the night went on for ages and ages. So that's when I met Dave. Dave was just like filling me in. He was like, what is a girl like you doing here in a place like this? This is where, like, do you know what Ahmed does? Ahmed finds these girls on the street. He just picks up random girls on the street, chats up random girls on the street, and brings them to this party to have sex. So it's their fault, it's the girl's fault, because they came to a party with somebody that they just met. So yeah, Dave was definitely on Ahmed's side, but he was just surprised that a girl like me was there, because from what he knew about me, I wasn't an idiot. So why did I get in the car with Ahmed? Like, the girls that normally get into the car with Ahmed are stupid girls, you know. So I think he was thinking along that line. So he told me that Ahmed brings these girls to the party, gets them drunk, and then has sex with them. But the way that Dave described it to me, it was definitely rape. So he told me that Ahmed, so he was telling me stories, and he was laughing and joking about it when he said it. He was saying, like, girls come out of the room screaming and crying. So he was describing some really disturbing things to me. He said that Ahmed always rapes them anally, and brings the blood, always wears a condom, and brings out the condom to show to his friends in the at the party afterwards. And but Ahmed wanted to know that he'd rape me, so he'd say things like, in reply to that, he'd be like, oh yeah, well, it was really turning me on when you were screaming for me to stop. He had invited everybody into the room, all the men into the room, while I was naked in bed, and I was really embarrassed, and I felt like trapped under the covers because I was in a state of shock anyway after being raped by him, and I was kind of I felt like I couldn't get out of the bed because I was naked otherwise, so like I felt trapped in the bed, but nothing happened at that point. But I didn't realise like how normal that was for them. I wasn't expecting it, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So when Dave was like telling me he knew me and telling me that things about Ahmed and stuff, then I thought Dave would help me. So I sat next to him the whole time, and I wouldn't let anyone else talk to me. And he said he was going to take me home. So I got a bit excited about that. And because the thing is, I was going to escape anyway, but when he offered to take me home, I thought that was a better solution. I was going to leave. I thought we got up to go, and I thought we were going, but he just took me into one of the other rooms, and I was so disappointed. And he sat me down, and I knew what he wanted to do, and do you know what, I just gave up in my head because I thought I just wanted to go home, and then so he just sat me on the bed and laid me down, and like literally I was like a statue, because I just wouldn't move unless I couldn't say no, but I just let him put me how he wanted me. And then I can't even say that we had sex, because he had sex with me, and I don't know, he's just one of those guys that would never comes, and he just had sex with me for ages, and I was just like, he probably wouldn't come because I was like I was just like a stone cold zombie underneath him. He was used the condom dried out, I could feel it was all dry, and I wasn't enjoying it at all, like, not that you're supposed to anyway. It was hurting and it was itching and it was horrible and it wouldn't finish, and you know, it started getting light outside. And I felt dead inside, honestly, because like, who would even put up with that? Like, there's no point to it. Like, I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't even complain. And it was taking ages to come, and he couldn't come, and he was frustrated about it, so it made me kneel underneath him. And then he was like wanking in front of me, and he still couldn't come. And the white guy that was there, he opened the door and saw me with him, and then they were taking the piss out of it afterwards. It made me go back in there. He gave up in the end, and he made me go back into the living room with him.
This was Dave.
Yeah.
What's he selling?
Asadi. He said he was gonna take me home, and then he took me into a bedroom, and then like he was still saying he was gonna take me home, and he took me back into the living room.
This is yet another example. In this case, a child killer, an alleged child rapist, Ahmed Nawas, let out after 15 months for killing Becky Watson, continued to violently and anally rape young girls. They're the allegations. If the police and the justice system had done anything like the investigation we had done, Ahmed Nawas would not have seen daylight for a very long time. But they didn't. They didn't do any investigation. They tried to cover up what had happened. They all failed in their duty to protect the vulnerable. Our justice system failed. It didn't work, and it doesn't work today. And as a result of its failures, innocent children continue to suffer. Let's see what Dave Asidi and Ahmed Nawas have got to say. Dave? Mate, I'm wondering if you can help me with some allegations about an old associate of yours called Ahmed.
God, can you stop filming me, please?
I'm on about an old associate of yours called Ahmed, mate.
God, I've seen your shit, mate,
Yeah.
on the telly, yeah?
So I want to ask you about an old associate.
Yeah, I know that name, yeah.
Yeah, you used to attend parties. Parties. You was at houses with Ahmed Nawaz. You was at houses with him.
Can you stop filming me?
Yeah, you was at houses, mate. I just want to see if you've got nothing to hide. You answer the questions.
I haven't got nothing to
You know
hide.
Ahmed. What was your relationship with Ahmed?
I know of him, yes.
Can I show you this? Can you just stop for a sec so I can show you this? Yeah.
Yes. Can you stop filming me, please?
Yeah.
Stop, please.
Look, can you watch this? Can you watch this?
Why is he filming?
Can you watch this? Listen.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Get round the front.
Can you stop filming
Yeah,
me,
listen
please?
to it. Right, ready? Do you want to listen to it, mate? Because your response is needed. Your response is needed. Wait, just stop.
I choose to participate in... Can you stop filming
Do
me,
you
please?
want to listen to what the girl's got to say? She's talking about you. She's talking about you.
Is she?
She's talking about you. So should we listen to what? Do you want to listen to what she's got to say? So stop and listen to what she's got to say.
Would help me, so I sat next to him.
So she's just been anally raped by Ahmed in the house.
Anyone else talk to
That's
me?
bad. That's real bad
Then-
stuff, mate.
Then you've sat down next to her. You said you're going to take her home.
I got a bit excited about that.
You said you was going to take her home from this house after she got
Yeah,
raped.
that sounds... That probably... I don't know who's been raped and who's not.
But do you remember her at the house? And you said you were going to take her home.
I recalled her face, yeah?
You recall her face, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, carry on listening.
Sorry, were you going to say something?
Carry on listening because you're a witness to what happened. Just stop. Stop for a sec. Stop. Because just stop for a sec.
I don't want to be filmed.
No, just stop for a
mate.
sec.
No,
Okay,
I
well,
don't want to be
look,
filmed.
look.
Stop fucking filming me.
Listen to what she says. Listen to what she says.
I was like
She was excited because you were going to take her home.
Okay.
so disappointed.
But then,
But then what?
listen. You recognise her, don't you?
Yeah, I do recognise
Do you recognise her?
And he sat me down on. I knew what he wanted to do.
Me? She's on about me, yeah?
In one of these parties with Ahmed Nawas?
Right, I've never been to any parties.
You just said you recognise her and you're aware of Ahmed.
Yeah, I do. I know who she is. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah,
You do remember?
Yeah.
And
Simple question then, Dave. Did you rape her after Ahmed Nawas raped her?
No, sir. No way.
on the bed and lay me down, and like literally, I was like.
Was you at this party? Was you at a house with her?
I've never been at any party.
Was you at, not a party, a house where Ahmed Nawas was raping girls?
No.
Your comments were that he takes girls there regularly.
My comments.
Put me how he wanted me.
Yeah,
You know Charlie? He's present in this house as well.
Is he? Okay.
I don't know. He's just one
To be honest,
He wanted to rape her. You didn't let him rape her.
I don't listen.
But he wanted to rape her.
Had sex with me for ages.
Look, listen. It seems like you had a problem ejaculating.
I had a problem
Ejaculating.
Can you please fuck off now?
Please. Go away now.
What was your relationship with Ahmed then?
Ahmed, relationship, we have no relationship.
What were these house gatherings about where girls were taken in and out of rooms and raped?
I don't fucking know.
You don't know? Well, Charlie was there. You know Charlie?
To be honest.
You know Charlie because Charlie's cousin is the main rapist and their family were the main rapists from this town.
Okay. Well,
His uncle Keith, Asian Keith, was now him and his sons.
You should go and probably speak to them.
I'm going speaking to anyone who've got allegations against, and you're one of those people, Dave.
You know, it started getting light.
What do you have to say?
Nothing.
Well, look at her. Look at the pain in her face. Look, she's crying.
Yeah. I feel deeply for her and traumatic experience, but unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with me. So can you stop fucking filming me?
Why would she be saying that you were there? Why would she be saying that you've raped her? Explain that. Very clear. She knows you. Dave Asidi. That's you. You were in this house.
So what you're saying is, I've raping people.
I'm not saying. I'm saying that there's girls. You was at a house, which you recognise her from the house. You've already said that.
Yeah, I recognise the face.
You recognise her from the house.
Okay.
Yeah. You were present with Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie's cousin and family are the main Pakistani rape gang from this town. You know Ahmed.
I don't think so, mate.
What don't you think?
They're the main rapists.
Asian Keith. And his sons.
Unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with me.
So why would this girl name you? Why? Were you in these houses?
Yeah, listen, I've sorted this out with the police. Okay, and to be honest, nothing to do with me.
Was you present in houses with Ahmed and young girls?
Houses?
Was you present in a house with Ahmed and Nawaz and young girls?
I think I was there once.
You was there once? This time, with her?
That time when she was there, but I never fucking...
And that time when she was there, she was anally raped by Ahmed. She came out of the room, she was upset.
Okay, maybe so, but I don't know fuck all about that.
But you laughed because you said he always takes girls in there.
No.
You said he always comes out and shows the blood. He always comes out and shows the blood. No. What was the idea of the house gathering then? What was it? What was it? If there was girls going in and out of different rooms with men, and men all one by one.
Well, my friend used to live, my friend lives there.
Which friend?
My friend Charlie. I used to be friends with Charlie.
Yep.
Okay, and I was just simply going to see him. There was no party or...
Was there girls getting taken in and out of rooms?
No.
No?
I was working at the time and I got there, to be honest, I used to go and see him after work. So I think anything might have happened, definitely happened before.
So you're saying this girl's just randomly making up about you?
No, I'm not saying she's making it up. I'm saying I wasn't fucking there. That's what I'm saying. Maybe she met me around that time zone, but to be honest, no. I don't participate in anything like that, mate. I don't appreciate you know, asking me if I would like to be filmed.
This is your right to reply?
Yeah, I'm replying. I've replied. I've told you, nothing to do with me. I don't rape girls. I've got nothing to do with anything.
What was your relationship with Ahmed?
We friend of a friend. Long time ago. We was young, basically.
Okay, let me ask you another thing then. So, friend of a friend. So you were aware at the time that he was in, that you were associating with him, that he'd killed a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, I heard about.
He'd already killed her.
Off the grapevine, yeah.
Who he was sexually assaulting and abusing as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you're in a house with him, with other girls.
No.
You've just said you was. You remembered and said you was there with Ahmed.
Yeah, once. Yeah? There's one time.
Once you was there.
There was some girls there, but
there's some girls there.
No fucking sexual activity whatsoever.
No.
No rapings, nothing like that. To be honest, I'm innocent, man. I do not wish. You know, I've asked nicely, move your cameras from my face. I don't want to be associated with stuff like this.
Unfortunately, you are associated.
How?
Then you're in a house with him and other girls.
I heard it was an accident.
Girls
It wasn't murder.
girls are being brought in and out of bedrooms to be raped. They're the allegations. In quite horrific circumstances and quite detailed circumstances. When you listen to the detail. Do you want to watch that video again of what she says?
I don't want to watch it, to be honest.
You don't?
I know for a fact I haven't raped anybody ever in my life.
Okay.
Ever.
Oh, David.
And listen, I don't like...
Okay, pull the camera off him. Oh.
I've done nothing wrong, mate. I do not wish to be filmed like this.
I'm putting a documentary together. This is part 4 of the Rape of Britain.
I've seen some of your
I've done
stuff, mate.
I've done investigation.
I think it's fucking horrific what's been going on.
Well, you've admitted you was in the house with Ahmed.
Right, yeah, one time.
For these parties.
No.
When I say parties,
I've heard about this. I've been.
Well, you would have heard about it because Charlie, your mate, who you were going around to see.
No.
His family were the main rape gang family in this town.
That's nothing that I know about, to be honest. No.
It's been all over the news.
It's not something that really people are gonna go around bragging about, is it?
It's been all over the news, national news.
I don't things like that, so I will never turn up to any convention like that, to be honest. There's places in Telford where they can go for parties like that. You go and chuck them a few quid and get your fucking ends away. But the thing is,
but you remember this girl specifically?
Yeah, I remember her face. Yeah, I know.
You remember being in a house.
Yeah.
You remember Ahmed being there, but you can't recollect what you were doing there.
I was definitely doing nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing sexually. It was nothing like that. On the night of...
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, mate.
Thank you.
Tommy, can you ask him to stop filming, please? I don't want to talk to you without,
I want to talk about the camera. Go on, put the camera down.
I want to speak to you.
Put the camera down for a second.
Just tell you, look,
go on.
I'm a family man, and look, I've been with my missus now for fucking 20 fucking years. I've got a daughter who's 11. I don't condone action like this. I never have.
Do you think maybe you should have... I know that you know what's gone on, yeah? So don't you think you should have gave evidence against Ahmed and Nawas?
I heard what's gone on from the police. I didn't hear what's gone on from these people.
I'm here to ask you questions. I believe the public are going to watch the allegations from this lady.
So I'm going to be on this documentary now.
You are. You're in episode 4.
You're serious?
You're an associate of Ahmed and Nawas. You're an associate of Charlie.
I thought I cleaned this up with the police. I was. Do you
know how many men have got away with raping children in this town? From the police.
I've seen your documentary. It scares me.
You've been watching the films, have you?
I have been watching the stuff, mate, because I've got a daughter at home. I'm quite
not because you were friends with one of the main rapists.
Nah, fuck. I don't know.
And you're aware of parties that you've attended.
No. That was a pure accident. I think some bad stuff was going on because I found out from police.
You found out from police? You had no idea at the time?
I didn't know.
When you hang around associating with all these men, you had no idea what they were up to?
No, I didn't know what their agenda was whatsoever, but I can tell you now, I'm not friends with any of these people now. I was young, I have no judgment, do you know what I mean? Like I was just there, that's it, but I wasn't there.
You was just there.
Stuff was going on, like I used to go and see him for a cup of tea regularly, once a week, yeah. I used to go and see him for a cup of tea, and I went to see him, and
they brought girls round.
There was girls there one occasion, and like some bad stuff must have happened. Nothing to do with me.
How many girls were there on the occasion you were there?
I can't remember. It's going back about 15, 20 years.
Do you remember how intoxicated the girls were?
I can remember not a lot, to be honest, about the night, but there wasn't that intoxicated. There was like...
How many girls were there? How old were the girls? Bearing in mind I spoke to them.
I don't know, I wasn't chatting them up, to be honest.
You wasn't chatting them up?
No.
So you were in a house, you didn't think it was strange, there's underage girls in there?
I did think it was a bit peculiar. I sort of said, who the fuck are these people,
And what was the answer? Because they were getting taken in and out of rooms?
I don't know about the taking in and out of rooms, and I don't know anything about that, to be honest. There's places we can go around here, everybody knows where it is as well. For that sort
doesn't change the fact that vulnerable young girls were taken in and out of houses, and at the time you were present in the house, and there's allegations against you.
I wasn't there, to be honest, when that horrible stuff was going on.
You wasn't there.
No. Can we walk?
Come on.
I feel provoked now. I've done nothing wrong, mate. I just got to let you know, Tommy, that is, you got this one wrong.
Well, your answer will be in the episode, okay?
Will it?
What you're saying will go into your answer here.
I don't want to be associated.
I know you don't want to be associated, but what you've done so far is you recognise the girl. You remember being there. You know Ahmed. You know their cousins are rapists, and you know that young girls were being taken in and out of rooms at a house that you were present at, and you were a bit confused about it.
Yeah, because I got into a bit of trouble over that stuff that night, and the thing.
What trouble did you get into over that?
With the police, like they basically come round saying what happened, this, what happened. I said nothing's happened. Not with my presence. Nothing happened while I was there, and then whatever the badness happened must have happened without me being there.
Are you saying that you was totally unaware, after Ahmed Nawaz had already killed a 13-year-old child, you were totally unaware of what those men were, crimes they were committing as a family? Are you saying you were totally...
I was totally unaware of that stuff, yeah, 100%. This is like...
I find that difficult to believe when you're in a house where they're bringing in girls.
No.
You was in the house, you've admitted that, where they were bringing girls, underage girls, in their bedrooms, but you didn't realise anything was happening. Is that what you're saying?
You're still filming, mate.
Is that what you're saying? You was in a house, Ahmed Nawaz, their cousins, all the rape gang, were bringing young girls.
I'm unaware of the...
You've said you was aware, you were there, and they were bringing young girls in and out of bedrooms, but what you're saying is you were totally unaware of what was happening to the girls in the bedrooms.
No, I didn't see the girls coming in their bedrooms or anything like that. I didn't see anything like that.
No?
To be honest, no. No, I don't condone action like that. I'm not totally not into that stuff. To be honest, you know... Can you tell them stop filming though?
They're filming.
It's not.
They're filming.
For security. You know?
It is, mate. It's for security.
This sort of stuff, it's nothing to do with me. You know
it's nothing to do with you, but you have already confirmed you were present at the house.
Yeah, but that's not my fault. That's nothing to do with rape and girls and young girls. I just used to go there anyways. I used to go to share a cup of tea with my old friend Charlie from back in the days when I was young. I went there the one day. Yes, there was a few girls there. They wasn't underage. To my knowledge, they look old. They look old enough, to be honest, to me. But
so this girl here, you're saying, she's totally making every single thing up. Is she?
No, I'm not saying that. I believe her, to be honest, but the thing is...
well, you believe her. Well, her allegation is you took her into a room after Ahmed Nawaz had raped her and you raped her.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't rape her one bit.
Did you have sex with her?
Listen.
Did you have sex with her?
No, listen.
Did you do anything sexual with her?
I'm not answering your questions, mate.
Did you do anything sexual with her?
We can sort this out.
Simple question. Did you do anything sexual with her?
We can sort this out in court.
Dave, did you do anything sexual with her?
We can sort this out in court.
Did you do anything sexual with her?
See you in court.
Did you do anything sexual with her?
See you in court.
Answer the question. If you've got nothing to hide, did you do anything sexual with her? Did you do anything sexual with her? Yes or no?
Listen.
Simple answer, yes or no. Why are you dodging that question?
I'm not dodging.
Did you do anything sexual? Did you do anything sexual with her?
I've answered your
Did you do anything sexual with her?
Why are you asking me these questions? A bit personal.
Did you have sex with her?
No, I'm not answering your questions.
You're not answering my questions.
No, finishing. I've answered your
See you later, Dave. See you later.
Listen, mate, why do you want to know who I've had sex with?
Because she was in a room after being raped by Ahmed Nawaz.
You've told me.
So, and I'm asking you a simple question. Did you that evening have sex with her?
Well, why do you want to know who I've had sex with?
You're in a house with vulnerable women.
Yeah, I didn't know they're vulnerable women or who's
know.
vulnerable and who's not vulnerable. I went in the house one time, I've told you.
And did you have sex with her?
I've told you the
Did you have
truth.
sex with her?
Listen, I've had sex plenty of times, mate.
Did you rape that girl in that house?
No way.
Did you have sex with that girl in the house?
No way.
Did you have sex with that girl in the house?
No.
Is your opinion of it that it wasn't rape because your opinion is it that it was consensual?
Consensual, okay.
Did you have sex with her in that house?
I've never had sex that's not consensual. And
did you have sex with her in that house?
Listen, no. I've never had sex that's not consensual. And that's all I've got to say.
Okay, Dave, thank you.
All right, mate.
Killed Becky Watson because you was angry with her for repeating that you had raped man's girlfriend. What about the allegation, mate, you took a young girl up to the Recon, a school child up to the Recon, you ejaculated in her face and then you urinated in her face. What do you have to say to that allegation?
What are you on about?
I'm here to ask you a question. I have multiple young girls, school children on camera. I have multiple young girls who allege that you're involved in raping them and prostituting them. Even after coming out of jail after the Becky Watson, you continue to anally rape children. Your thing was anal, wasn't it? I have multiple young children who name you, who did not know each other. You're involved in the prostitution of raping young children. How many people in here know that this man is a 13-year-old child? How many people, unsuspecting people, are sitting in these businesses eating food in your premises and they don't know the serious allegations that are put against you, Ahmed? What do you have to say? Tell me what you have to say. How many people here know that there are allegations against you for anal rape of children? You took a young girl up into the woods and you urinated in her face. That's the allegation. What do you have to say?
You're just making things up.
You're going to see the videos of all of these victims.
You can carry on.
You're
racist.
Okay.
And you know
racist.
You're just making things up.
Actually, Ahmed, you are the racist because you are the man.
You are making things up.
Actually, Ahmed, you are the racist because the girls tell us you call them dirty gullah. Is that right? Dirty gullah, white slags. That's the term you use to refer to these children. What do you have to say? Okay, so how long did you serve in jail for the murder of Becky Watson? 15 months. 15 months in jail. No, let him go, man. Let him go. Let him go, but how many people? To answer the question, okay? Why would I have, Ahmed, multiple young children? Yeah, multiple young children who do not know each other, all naming you as being involved in raping them.
Excuse me, please. Do you think this is the right thing? Is the right time to?
I think that unsuspecting customers in towns like this need to know of your history, your past, and the allegations against you.
You're just making things up. Carry on.
Becky Watson. What was your friendship with Becky Watson? She was 13 years old.
You're just going around just making things up.
Mate, did you think the murder of Becky Watson would only last 15 months?
You're just going around making things up. That's all you do.
Do you think 15 months?
No, look what you're doing. You got all these guys. Yeah, just look at these guys.
Yeah, out of the way, lads.
No, you bought these guys, and just making things up and pressurising.
Mate, I'm just here to ask you simple questions.
You're pressurising.
This is your Ahmed. This is your right to reply. This is your right to reply.
Can I ask you one question?
You can ask me one question. Go on, boss. Go on.
Do you think this is the right time to just comment?
Mate, I need to ask him questions.
No, you're not listening to what I said.
Do you understand that young girls in their school uniforms,
I understand.
a young child was taken out to the woods and was urinated in her face? I don't think there's a right time to ask these questions or a right time.
You're just making things up.
No, I'm not making things up.
Things
You're going to see the allegations after girl after girl after girl.
But the police, they come to arrest me. You're just making things up.
So you think because all of you have got away with it? 15,
we all got away with it.
Did you kill Becky Watson?
What are you on about?
She's dead.
You just carry on.
She's not here anymore, bruv. Her mum and dad will never see her again, mate. Her mum and dad will never see her again.
Look at these guys just making things up.
What were you doing hanging around with 13-year-old school children? You put her on your car bonnet and you raced off because you were angry because you had been sleeping with your best friend Imran's underage girlfriend.
Excuse me, please.
Imran's underage girlfriend was you sleeping with? Ahmed, how many people do you think are going to use your business after this?
I'll just ring the police.
You can ring the police, mate. Ring the police. So this is Ahmed Nawaz. Unsuspecting customers need to be aware of where these premises are, who these men are. You're going to hear allegation after allegation of rape, of prostitution, anal rape, even after coming out of jail. Ahmed, what you don't understand is you're a star of episode 3 and 4, mate. Ahmed Nawaz, this is your opportunity if you like to reply. Do you want to reply anything?
You don't have to reply anything.
You don't have to reply. Come on, let's go.
Okay, just move.
Everyone, you need to know what these men have been up to, yeah?
Yeah, I will. Sorry it's late, it's Tommy Robinson. Just giving you the heads up. We just caught up with Ahmed Nawaz in a restaurant that he's been running. So he was surprised, very surprised. So all the customers in the restaurant to hear of who he is and the allegations